What's up, everybody? We've been getting a lot of questions about TOO PHAT and why he hasn't been in the videos lately. Some of y'all that we know a little closer, we've told, or people that's been out to the yard. But we just really hadn't had it in us to make a video about it until now. And, with some of the breedings we've got coming up and some of the stuff we got going on, it's been getting more and more people asking, and we don't want to be, holding any information back from anybody, but it's just been really difficult for us to make this video. On September 9th last year, we actually lost TOO PHAT. It wasn't anything health related. I'll let Dad explain how it actually happened, but it's just one of those things that happened that, really was kind of out of everybody's control, and we wanted to make a video sooner, which is something that we've talked about and tried to warn people about. We wanted to make a video sooner, but every time we've kind of started to make this video, it's just been really hard for us to talk about, and hard to get started on. And people's going to ask questions, which that's fine. Everyone has a right to, but it's something that we wasn't ready to deal with yet. So I'll let Dad explain what happened with him. But we lost him on September 9th, and we've got TOO PHAT offspring on the yard still carrying on his legacy. But TOO PHAT, that's why you haven't seen him in the videos and all that lately. Is he's passed away.
Well, we knew too there would be a lot of questions. I'm glad because y'all love TOO PHAT too, and we're tickled that you did. But we wasn't ready to answer a bunch of questions yet. We've started to do this video a million times, and we just couldn't do it and fill the questions that it was going to bring. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly what happened. TOO PHAT, we had a female in heat. And he, as they always do, he ran off with her in the yard, into the woods with her, which he's done a million times before.
Well, just real quick, he wasn't out with the female. He actually was in the backyard, and all this happened within about 20 minutes. But he actually broke out of the fence and into the fence with the females in heat and let them loose.
Yeah, when TOO PHAT wanted to breed, it was hard to hold him back. When we had a female in heat, he would go at it so hard, and he just wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop, and we had the female and him separated. She was locked up and in the fence, running around playing with her other females, and TOO PHAT was just out, playing around in the yard. Well, he got out of, and we put him in his kennel because we knew she was going to be out too. He broke out of his kennel into her fence, got her, broke her and him out. And as soon as he broke her and him out, they took off to the woods, and Michelle seen them. So we knew, it was so hot that day. I mean, it was just one of those days in September that it just got unbelievably hot, like 98 degrees. And we knew that how TOO PHAT would be. He would be trying continuously to breed, so we knew we didn't have much time to find him. About 20 minutes is what I had figured we needed to find him within 20 minutes to keep him safe, at least to keep from a heat stroke or anything from happening. And we searched and we searched and we searched, and we could not find him anywhere. It took us about 40 minutes. And Michelle found him and seen him and hollered for him, and he was probably 3/4 of a mile down in the woods. And which dog was it with him?
It was Tiny Dancer, Bree, and Lucy.
Yeah, they all got out when he let the one out in the heat. They all got out, and they was just standing right there with him.
They were standing right with him.
They wouldn't leave him. We'd done all that yelling, and they wouldn't leave him. They were standing right there with him, and he was just laying there, and he had passed. And I know what happened. He tried so hard to mount her that he had a heat stroke, and he got overheated, and he died. And it was just. Man, I get nauseated now thinking about it. Michelle started screaming as soon as she seen him, and I took off running, and I got to him, and where they were at was thick with thorns, broken down trees, bush. I mean, it was just nearly impossible to get in there to him, and I'll never forget it. When I seen him, I just Michelle got the other girls and got them away and headed back with the to the fence to put them back in the fence. And I just sat there with him and cried for probably, 45 minutes. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. It just ripped my heart out. And so I knew we had to get him out, and I picked him up and put him over my shoulder, and we carried him out. Like I say, it's about 3/4 of a mile down in the woods, kind of down a hill. And Michelle offered to help me and everything, but I didn't want her to help. I wanted to carry him out myself, and I carried him all the way. We'd stop and break about 2 times, and I just told him while we was breaking, and get myself to get a little bit of air, and we'd go at it again, and we got him out, and we buried him right down there where the kennels is at, because that's where he loved to be. I mean, that was his spot. He's got a little spot that's in the shade, and he loved it there, and that's where we'd go rest when one would be in heat, and then he'd go back and try to get at it some more, then go over there and rest, and that's where we buried him. And the ground was so dry and it was so hot when I got him back. All the dogs were wanting to see him, they can't believe it, and I mean, it was like even the dogs. I don't know how dogs feel about things, but they were acting just devastated, and we went through 2 or 3 shovels. We couldn't even find a shovel because the ground was so hard. I couldn't get the ground to break to dig, and it took probably an hour, 2 hours to dig a hole to put him in. And I kept bending the ends of the shovel. Shovel come to a point, I would roll the end of the shovel up, and we buried him, and so he and like Cody said, that's why we haven't talked about it yet. It was just an excruciating day. It him, and it reminds me back of Fat Money, the one he's named after when he died that day, and
yeah, I carried him out. I remember.
Cody carried him out.
He was near the same spot down there.
Yeah, down in the
woods.
And,
weird.
And it was just I'm telling you,
all the dogs it kind of seemed like they all knew for a while. Everybody, there was just all the dogs kind of acted different, was more depressed. Even the cat, and we're going to roll some footage at the end of Puff. Him and Too Phat was real close.
Yeah, we got,
and they all seemed like they was kind of mourning and missing him, and it was hard for everybody to get over.
It was
you
a
could
rough
tell
day.
that there was a void there because Too Phat and Country was always right beside each other, and that's what everybody noticed so quick was him not being in all the videos with Chubby and
Too Phat and Country. Was an inside dog, and he loved everybody. He was such a good natured dog.
And Puff, his little friend, the cat. I mean, he was tore up. I mean, and I'll we'll put some pictures in there of them two together. I mean, they were tight. She would sleep. She slept with him, and I mean, they were tight.
Boy, but
Puff is a boy. I call him a girl because it's a cat. But it was weird. Too Phat has his own crate at night. They don't have to sleep in them, but we have each one of them a crate. And Too Phat always liked to go get in his crate at night to sleep.
A little bed and stuff.
Yeah, we had a little bed for him in there and all. And he would go sleep in it. And for 2 weeks, I'd go in there, and Puff, his cat friend, had his little bed laid right on top of Too Phat's kennel, and he would sleep on top, and Too Phat would sleep in the kennel. And for 2 weeks after that, Puff would go sleep on Too Phat's bed inside the kennel. I'd go in there and look, and there would be Country in his kennel, and Chubbs in his, and Puff would be in Too Phat's. I mean, Big Country in his, and Chubbs in his, and then Too Phat would be, Puff would be in Too Phat's in the middle, and it rocked the family really hard. I mean, it was, and when I say the family, I'm talking about not just us. I'm talking about all the dogs, and Michelle, Cody, Chase, me.
It was tough.
It got us all.
Well, he's carried on by Chunk. 3 Phat is 2 times Too Phat, and we've actually kind of incorporated coming up some really Too Phat heavy breedings just to get his legacy continued on. That's Chunks has kind of come of age to start breeding now, and we've got a few Chunk breeding coming up to which y'all know just landed to carrying on, and then 3 Phat as well. We did 3 Phat and Chunk together to do a really, I mean, just that will be as Too Phat as a breeding can get.
And 3 Phat, I mean, is spitting
everything like him, and Chunk too. I mean, when you see Chunk's personality, that crazy little attitude he has, and chasing nonstop after the females.
Gosh,
he's just like Too Phat when it comes to the females.
Same
trying to get to the females, they will go beyond and above to get to the females.
You just gotta watch them.
And then we got a little new girl, Candy, coming up. That's not right off of Too Phat.
Yeah, she's off 3.
Off 3 Phat, so we kept her because we're gonna get heavy with it, and we don't want to forget we had him Michelle had him a
Little memorial
made right there. It's TOO PHAT, and it's his little picture that stays lit in here with us every night. Right here watching TV with us, like he always did. There's a little tongue sticking out, and it's got TOO PHAT, his name on it. Can they see it?
Yeah, they can see it.
And we miss him. And if y'all wondering, just so I know you'll wonder why, it was a heat stroke.
Yeah.
He went after her, and they run off down the woods, and he tried to mount her. He would try continuously, nonstop. And we don't mount, so he didn't really know how to mount, and she didn't know how to let him mount, so he just kept trying until he had a heat stroke and passed away.
We'll go ahead and cut it off here because we're not going to be able to upload any footage with it if we go much longer. We get to talking about it. We just want to explain it more and more. But stay tuned at the end of this for a little bit of footage. And thanks for watching and everyone's concerns and thoughts and prayers. And God bless.
God bless.
Trying to kill us.
Choo-choo! Oh. TOO PHAT!